Let's now talk about some of the effective strategies for good classroom management. These strategies would involve various techniques or ideas which may be used to make your classroom management more improved for the betterment of overall learning process. For example, in the beginning, and the simplest one is to create an effective learning environment. This looks very vague on its face. What is an effective learning environment? What are the concrete elements which may be applied in order to make an environment more effective for learning? I'll just mention few things which might be helpful for you in order to improve your management within the classroom. There could be many, and the list is unending, and it would vary from teacher to teacher and from learning situation to another learning situation. So some of the common things which can be applied in most of the classrooms might include arranging the classroom in a way that would make your mobility within the classroom easier, in a way that you could reach the maximum students if you intend to personally, and it would also make a suitable proximity with your students. And then try to greet your students when they enter in the classroom, and also tell them what to do after entering into the classroom. Then try to know your students' names. It has a very healthy psychological effect on your students when you call them by their names. It comes to us through many studies. And also try to know something more about your students. It will help you create a healthy relationship with your students. And then end class with a routine that summarizes the day's accomplishments. So students may be happy that they have achieved something within that classroom. In the end, also try to tell them what to do next in the coming classroom. And then also try to leave the classroom clean. In this regard, you can also develop a set of written behavior expectations for your students and some rules and procedures which would make your classroom healthy and make your students behave better within that classroom. Then always consider parents your allies. Try to involve them in the learning or in the management of the behavior of your students when needed. Establish some healthy classroom procedures. I have already emphasized on this. You can also create a motivational environment, which this is very important. Do not do such things in the classroom which would discourage your students to learn. Rather, try to introduce such activities or create such an environment in the classroom, learning enriched environment, which would motivate your students to learn more. Try to introduce lessons which would challenge your students so that their interest is increased. Always give clear directions to your students. Demonstrate consistently that you believe all students will learn. Do not show more faith in some students and leave others. This would discourage the remaining students and could be counterproductive. Therefore, try to show your faith in all students in most of situations. Make learning interesting by relating lessons to your students' real life or the things around them. So this would have an edge in terms of their motivation. And always use vivid, novel, or different attention getters, especially at the beginning of your class. This would help you make a very good start, and a good start would enable you to catch your students' attention throughout the lecture. Make every minute count in the classroom. Begin on time and finish on time. This is very important. And sometimes kept in every classroom can be utilized or added up to hours of additional academic instruction, which can be performed at the end of a semester. Keep everyone engaged. Both high achievers and low achievers should be engaged properly. As I said earlier, do not ignore any section of your classroom. Also try to teach some life skills and good learning habits to your students along with the teaching material. And try to be creative as much as possible. In this regard, try to find resources such as pictures, maps, activities, ideas, arts and crafts, instructions, and technology materials which can be helpful for learning and can make your students more engaged in the lessons.